up with the idea for Awkward Black Girl essentially based off of my middle school experiences, my adult experiences, just life. Like my family and I share the same humor, and that is a very awkward observational humor. And I really wanted to express that, and I was influenced by shows like Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm and 30 Rock, and they all had this distinct sort of quirky humor about like people's behavior. And you know, those shows, I discovered they had in common that there were no people of color in these shows, and especially in the lead roles. And so I was like, I want to make my own type of series from my lens and make this character who's awkward, but at the same time, she's relatable because of those traits, but at the same time, she's African American, she's black. Oh, wow. And you're forced to relate to her because, you know, you've gone through what she's gone through, and, you know, she happens to be black.
I just slapped you, bitch!
I was actually up late working on the project that you assigned me.
Right. Can't wait to see what you think you've accomplished.
It's odd because the voiceover was just like a last minute addition. You know, I wanted to make this a cartoon series initially, an animated series, and I didn't even picture myself being in it. And so that device came when I was editing at the last minute. I was like, man, I don't have enough footage. I didn't have enough time to get everything I wanted, but I still want to tell this story. And so I was like, duh, I'll just narrate it. I think I made a mistake last night.
Jay, how'd it go?
What the fuck, Cece? It's 2 a.m. What are you doing jumping out the bushes like a crackhead? And then that narration progressed into like these inner thoughts. And, you know, they were just what I would be thinking or what that character would be thinking if she was going through a situation. And, you know, since she is so passive aggressive, it just makes sense that she wouldn't vocalize these thoughts. I did. I wanted to be a filmmaker. Initially, you know, in high school and I mean, even before high school, I wanted to pursue acting, and I figured that out in elementary school. But at the same time, I wanted to be a writer. And I think early on, you know, during high school, I kind of got the sense that I would never really be able to be a lead role. Like I was in all the plays in high school because I had an amazing drama teacher who put on these plays of color that, you know, we hadn't heard of prior to, you know, studying theater. And that was just impressive to me. But when I went to college, which was a predominantly white institution, they weren't putting on those plays. They were putting on plays that were Eurocentric at times and that didn't feature leads of color. And so I was like, you know what, I'm never gonna be in this play. These plays I don't care about anyway, I don't like them, and so let me try to create my own. Let me try to adapt something that I'm familiar with, a Spike Lee play. School Days was the first play that I put on, and then I just cast all these people of color, and I really started to enjoy, you know, this process of learning how to direct and produce, and never really looked back until Awkward Black Girl. As I mentioned, I was inspired by a lot of the works that my high school drama teacher, Mr. Friedman, shout out to him, he, you know, put us onto so many great playwrights. You had Lorraine Hansberry, of course, who he introduced us to the Colored Museum, On Strivers Row, you know, even some Latino plays. Marisela de la Luz lights the world, but just opened my eyes to the fact that there were just so many great playwrights of color that weren't being featured in the, you know, the playwrights canon or the theatrical canon, and that was irritating to me. You know, people are like, why did you, you know, how did you put so many people of color in there? Like, it's so, you know, or they'll think that it's avant-garde, and I'm like, no, that's who's around me, you know, and it's not hard. That's why I'm insulted that mainstream media can't do that, you know. That I started creating this because there isn't content, and I want to see it. So if there are more content creators who are inspired to create awesome stuff that I could be a fan of down the line, then everybody wins to me. She's absolutely opening doors, and she looks out for, you know, other writers as well, and other performers, and I think that what she's done with diversity in the media, I feel like she's single-handedly holding diversity on her shoulders. And she's just extremely talented, and I was lucky enough to be able to work with her. Yeah, writing a memoir of essays and observations, just in the vein of me. It's really honest, frighteningly honest. Like I have to pull myself back sometimes and be like, do I really want to write? Do I really want to tell the world this? But it's definitely the hardest thing I've ever done, because, you know, not only does it require you to really be in tune with yourself and like stay focused for a long amount of time. Like I have to set hours a day to write. It's hard to switch from the medium of, you know, screenwriting or web series writing, which is primarily dialogue heavy, to, you know, descriptive narrative. And I'm just wrapping my mind around that, because I'm still writing it simultaneously. But I feel like to write a book, you have to be in the zone constantly. But I've been reading other books as well, just to try to get in that mindset. It's hard. I mean, people ask me that question, but it doesn't feel like I'm working, you know? So it's like, it's so rewarding to be able to do that. And I'll gladly pass up social plans to work. And I've always been like that, because it's like, I'm still having fun.
Nice.
So it does get overwhelming at times, because sometimes I don't know how to manage my time. And when I do have projects that are due or deadline, I find it hard to meet them sometimes, just because I'm focusing on too many things at once, and you can't focus on too many things at once. It fluctuates from day to day. Essentially, how much the character is me, the character of Jay is me, and I would say that it like maybe 40% to 30%. I don't think I'm as mean as Jay. I tell people, like, because some of her thoughts are like really, really mean, and I feel like I'm way more patient than she is, and I'm not as passive aggressive. I will tell you if you're getting on my nerves. I just have to. Yeah.
I like people like that. I really
and I appreciate that in people. So I feel like that I used to be that way. You know, I used to try to shield and try to please everyone. And then some, you know, after a while, you're just like, I have to live my life. I can't live my life for other people.